It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Garage Beer and Tool. And it's a can. Look at this can. Don't you love that character? Looking really happy. Just like me. It's a can of Glassfinger. It's a stout brewed with cacao nibs and coffee from 3 Marks Coffee, coming in at 7% ABV. Let's get the can out into a glass, see what we get. It's a 440 can. Garage Beer, based out of Barcelona in Spain. Catalonia, I should say. Really, I've been there, I've been to the actual brewery. Look at that! Oh, it's gonna spill. Ah, I made a mess. Oh, blimey. Why did I'm too greedy, isn't I? I'm way too greedy. I don't even have a cloth. Ah, never mind. Don't even have a cloth to hand. Here's the beer. We got a 4-finger tan coloured head. Look at the colour of that. It's a jet black beer in the glass. That looks absolutely terrific. Really does. Mentioned in another beer review very recently that I got this beer from a good friend. He bought me a few beers. Somebody smashed his window. I replaced his double glazing window unit for him, being a carpenter by trade. And he said, "What do you want?" I said, "Get me a couple of beers." And he bought me some amazing beer. He really did. 4 really good beers. And this is one of them. So yeah, thanks to Real Ale 140 for that. Good levels of carbonation. It looks terrific. That looks like the most perfect Imperial Stout. Let's get the aroma. Oh, chocolate, coffee, caramel, roasted flavours, cacao nib, vanilla, roasted malt. Smells terrific. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what an amazing beer. What an amazing beer. And I'm just thinking about this now, and it's just come to me like a light bulb moment. Bing. And the reason why it came to me like a light bulb moment was I was concentrating on beer going everywhere. And it was my own fault. I poured the beer a bit too quickly. It overflowed all over my hands and all over my kitchen, but it's my own problem. It's not anything to do with the brewer. It wasn't overcarbonated. It was me with my technique. After pouring 5,100 beers, you'd think I'd be able to pour a beer a bit better than I do these days, wouldn't you? But yeah, of course, going back to the original thought, the light bulb moment, Tool. Even More Jesus. They're famous for that, aren't they? That's Evil Twin, Tool. Where are we? Tool. I'm sure Tool makes some really fat, bold, thick Imperial Stouts also. So I'm not surprised at all that this beer from Garage Beer Project and collaborated with Tool is big and fat and bold, and kind of there's a little bit of licorice coming through, chocolate, coffee, caramel. The mouthfeel is thick and terrific. Yeah, it's really good. Terrific Imperial Stout. Little bit of raisin, little bit of fig, little bit of plum on the back end. Carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. Yeah, roastedness, chocolate, coffee, caramel, cacao nib in there, vanilla, It's terrific, absolutely terrific beer. And the mouthfeel is big and fat. It's a bit like engine oil. It'll sit, not that you ever want to drink engine oil, but you get the kind of thinking there as you wash the beer around. It sits on your palate. As it sits on your palate, it doesn't just kind of like slide down, because it's a thin, refreshing beer. The malts in the beer is just making it big and fat and bold, and it just sits there for a little bit longer. As it's sitting there for a little bit longer, you're getting most of that flavour. You're getting more of that flavour hitting areas of your palate which it may not hit if it was a kind of a slug back, easy drinking, refreshing beer. But as I mentioned, there's enough carbonation to also push that beer around a little bit and make it feel more like a beer rather than just a glass of sludge. It's amazing. It's a really, really fine balance to get a beer like this absolutely right. I feel they've got it absolutely right. The roasted malt gives a natural bitterness on the beer. The hops they've used is a natural bitterness on the beer. So it's got a nice balance between sweetness and bitterness on the back end. They did mention the hop. So in the Whirlpool, it's Chinook. Chinook hop in there. Right. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic beer. I'm going to rate it. I like that beer, I really do. In fact, I'm going to say, very rarely do I say this on the channel. I love this beer. I love this beer. Collaboration between two breweries who have the utmost passion for craft beer and pushing the boundaries and just making their beer better and better and just keeping on pushing and pushing and pushing the boundaries as far as they can to achieve that greatness which is top class beer. And their beers are only getting better. I like that enough to give it a 10 out of 10. So 10 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.